It is not easy to learn it, but after you warm up and you practice and play several games, you learn to catch with two hands instead of one hand in the glove.
The game that we're playing right now is the game that was played during the Civil War, and that's when this game became a national game, you know, because the soldiers took it home with them, and it really exploded after the Civil War. There's 9 players on the team. The bases are 90 feet, but some of the rules are very different. Like for instance, in the vintage game, if you catch a ball on one hop, that's an out.
We do our best to try and recreate the environment and the lingo back in 1864 rules. As you see, we play on a big grass open field. We do everything we can to avoid playing on a baseball diamond. There's not much to it. The bases are stuffed with hay. The uniforms are as authentic as they can be. One nuance is we do allow folks to wear plastic cleats, which weren't around in 1864, but that is for safety reasons.
Okay, a couple ground rules. If it hits the cannon in the air and you catch it, it's an out.
Because they're man-made things.
Correct.
Out on the field, I go by the nickname of Commodore. And I was one of the founders of the Chesapeake and Potomac Baseball Club, which played its first game in July of 2006. You know, we're part of the greater Mid-Atlantic Vintage Baseball League, which has teams from New England all the way down to Virginia. Between practices, which we do early on in the season, and then games, we play about 2 or 3 matches a month.
The beautiful thing about the sport is that you have a complete mix of players out there. You have folks who have very little baseball playing experience who come, and also folks who have played a lot of baseball throughout their high school and college careers. And some are great athletes and some maybe not the greatest athletes, but on this field, vintage baseball normalizes it so that the difference between the best athlete and the worst athlete is very minimal.
We've had kids as young as 12 years old with their parents' permission play. We've had players that are in their 70s play. Well, there's females on the team, not authentic at all, but it's one of those things that that's part of the modern world that we introduced to the vintage game.
I think there's a historical aspect to it that folks really enjoy. This is not much different from the folks that do the Civil War reenactments. But the difference is every game is different. It's not pre-scripted. There's no decided winners of battles. Every game is hard fought by the players who come out and play. They have a great time with each other, but there's also a significant effort to win the game, and that adds a certainly competitive flavor to it.
I'm not that great of a hitter. I'm not very fast, but I enjoy pitching. For me, the most difficult part of the game is trying to catch a long throw, like when I'm playing first base and there's a long throw coming from the third baseman, and he's got some speed on the ball and it's coming right at me, and or I might have to stretch for it. It's really hard to get a handle on it.
There is no expectation for anybody that, you know, to be Babe Ruth or anything like that. It's a great group of people that come out on weekends because they just love the sport and they love being together with other people with like minds.
I always have something to talk about on Monday when I go to work. It kind of helps me round out my life. The job, the professional aspect of my life, the family aspect. My son plays with the team. It's something that gives me great recreational enjoyment. Something so it fills that part of my life also.
You have to start very young. You have to have a training environment where there are lots of other players training hard, so you have people to train with. I got started in a very strange way. I was 16 years old, which is a very late start for table tennis if you want to reach the higher levels. I went to the library to get a book on track and field, and I just looked to my left, and there was a book on table tennis.